Good afternoon,
I know
sir.
you ain't on here, Rose. I know you ain't on here, Rose, man. All on the best thing that ever happened to you, my boy. Don't ever forget that, bro. Don't ever forget that, my boy. You should be showing me gratitude anytime I show my face.
Oh my goodness, we can barely see you. You're so dark in there. What you in a hot box?
No, we ain't out, but we ain't just that's where we at.
Yeah, you broke up when you said that. So yeah, we're gonna leave that to whatever you said, man.
I said we in a trap. That's
You
what I
in the
said. But it's
trap?
all good.
All right, that's
We in the
cool. You
trap.
know what I'm saying? Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold Starts and Tap Athletics Live Show, man. You already know, man. I label every last one of our thumbnails when I put them up. It's two vets in the game. You feel me? Because there's two vets in the game dropping that heat. Dropping
Facts,
some
facts.
serious heat. Dropping some
Shout
serious
out
heat.
to my boy Mark. My boy Mark, your boy, he put me on. He just shared our content on Facebook.
Who I put you on?
Mark, man, Big Mark, Florida boy,
Oh,
first
Clark, Mark Clark. Yeah, my
yeah, Mark
boy.
Clark. I
Yeah,
talked to him his
yeah,
last name, but he just
yeah,
posted us on Facebook and was saying like, I like what these two men
yeah,
got going on. He was showing up to the podcast pretty much.
yeah,
So
yeah. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. Shout out to Mark. Me and him been chopping it up lately. We've been doing some business together. You know, he already know when we make it this far in the game, it's time to start looking into the business, and he just trying to do his thing to help. But yeah, man. So getting into this episode, we're gonna be going over my personal book, 6 must-have traits to become an overseas basketball player.
my bad, my bad.
Ooh,
Say that one more
ooh.
time. Say that one more. Say that one more time.
6 must-have traits to become an overseas basketball player. That's if you want to play the game. You know what I'm saying? That's if you want to play the game. We ain't saying two vets in the game for no reason. So I had to write a book for
Hey,
y'all.
I got like I just did. I gotta give you another round of applause, man.
Hey,
A basketball player slash author. Not too many people have that title. You know what I
no,
mean? Like,
man. You got
hey
to
man, I salute that, bro. I plan to be an author in the future myself.
gotta be,
So that the
man.
fact that you already not only got one book, but
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, this man got two books. Hey, I do nothing but salute that, bro. That's big time, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So we just gonna go get into it. We finna just have this whole breakdown. We finna just go through each chapter real quick. Just give you guys like a breakdown. So the first chapter, going through this first chapter, is all about belief, and I feel like that's the first thing of any athlete. Listen to me. You hear me?
Mm,
If you want to play overseas, all right, you gotta believe in yourself. Like it,
big fact.
hands down, you have to believe in yourself. And I feel like one of the biggest issue that we have is the people around us that tell us that we can't. Them naysayers, you can't play no basketball. Chime in on that, man. Chime in for me if you
Yeah, I
if you
mean,
can relate.
that's the beauty of life because it seems like all of us got naysayers and haters in our life. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you started off your book with that chapter because um, I don't know how much of a percentage you want to put on it, but belief is one of the biggest things you got to have into becoming an overseas basketball player. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. It's cliche, but it's also so true. You know what I mean? And it's like people gonna doubt you because sometimes you find out misery loves misery. People love to be they at rock bottom, so they want you to be at rock bottom,
Crabs in the
and you know
bucket,
what I mean.
man.
And it's just so crazy that when people throw poison at you, it's very easy to accept that poison. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like there's plenty of people telling me like, "Oh, you never gonna go to the NBA. It's too hard of a goal to obtain." You know what I mean? Oh, it's only 1% chance. You can only make it to the NBA. You might as well choose a different profession to go after. You know what I mean? And it's just like and it comes in different ways. The hate and the naysaying.
Oh man.
Sometimes it could be straight in an aggressive, direct way, so somebody you don't really like, or it could become from a family member who you really true love and dear. You know what I mean? And it can both be hurtful on both sides. So, you know, if you could just have a belief and a mindset that no matter what people say or even what people do to me in order for me to reach my goal. And I'm just gonna see through all that. I'm gonna deal with it in a positive manner, and I'm just gonna break through from all the obstacles and problems that they present. Then nothing can stop you. Being a basketball player is easy, but a
Right.
professional basketball player, as long as you believe in yourself, that's really the hard part done.
You know, I detail one story in the book. It was like I still remember that. You know how there'd be those turning points in your life when you just remember where you was at, the day, the time. Always like it's just a reminder, and I just
I got
remember.
a lot of those.
You know, there's just those turning point moments in your life. And I remember I was 15 years old. I was a sophomore in high school. I was about a buck 30. And I just remember they were doing like the little news, like the little morning news. And then somebody came and said, "Hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And at that time, I already had got cut from JV. I was a sophomore. I got moved up the next year, but I was still playing on JV. So I really wasn't like nothing guaranteed. But I was like, I see myself playing pro basketball. And at that moment, that very moment, a guy walked by and he was like, just he heard me and he was just like, like, yeah, right. And I was like, oh, look at me now. Look at me now. You feel me? Your face will forever be painted in my mind. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget how you just hated on me. It's like that was just my dream. It was just me and just a guy. And just so happened you come and you just wanted to throw your insecurities and your doubts on me to try to pull me down because you can't reach that goal. So you feel like you got to pull my goal down. That's those
Yeah,
naysayers, man.
it can definitely be tough, like especially at a young age to like deal with, because we grown now, but as teenagers or young adolescent kids, man, your mind is so still forming, you still learning, and it's so fertile. So if somebody plants a bad seed in your head, then
Mm.
it's gonna get in your head, and that seed is gonna grow into something negative and stop you from becoming what you want to do in life, or becoming a overseas professional basketball player, or whatever you want to do. And sometimes we're not fortunate to have good people in our corner to say, "Oh, don't listen to him. He don't know nothing.
Mm.
Has he ever played basketball? Has he ever made it to the NBA?" Because the most people that say that you can't do it, they never done it themselves.
Exactly.
So
Or came
it's
close.
funny how people believe what other people say when they never even done it. You know what I
Or
mean?
came even
So
close to it.
yeah, man. So for any young people, young generation that see this video, bro, just if you know you great, then you great. You know what I mean? If you know you can make it to the NBA, then you can make it to the NBA. You might face obstacles, you might face setbacks, you might face a lot of failure, but if you know you can do it and it's up here, which is the main thing in your head, bro, talk words from a person that don't like you or don't want to see you succeed, not even gonna phase you, bro.
Right.
Like I got so many people that don't want to see Tap Athletic shine, but guess what? I'm wearing my Tap Athletic shirt
Hey.
every single day just to let y'all know I really don't care. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? So it's like, and I'm gonna keep on shining whether you like it or not. So yeah, bro, just keep going. And really, I would say also use the hate as motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people say that, you know what I mean? But you gotta, it's one thing to hear it and then apply it. You know what I mean? So like, oh, they say you can't shoot. Well, guess what? Get in that gym and get up 500 shots. And make sure you hold your follow through. You know what I mean? Bend your knees, stay on balance. And then they say you can't dribble, you ain't got handles. Do them dribbling drills. Go to Tap Athletics. Go to Arnold Lewis. You know what I mean? We got plenty of drill content. We got plenty of basketball content to help you become a better basketball player. Boom, man, what up, my boy? We gonna do our podcast soon. We gonna set the city on fire. But yeah, bro, you just got. It's really about having discipline to have a mindset above what people are trying to say to bring you down.
What's up, guys?
I just dropped my new ebook, 6 Must-Have Steps to Be an Overseas Basketball Player. You know, I've been playing for the last 9 years. I got all the steps and the traits that you need to start your journey with networking, with getting a mentor, all the things that you need to start your journey to be a protege. So go get that ebook, click the link in the bio, and make sure you get your steps to being that overseas pro one day. Let's go. And you know, that's what the second chapter in this book that I'm glad you said that with it's work ethic. So when people doubt you, that's why I felt like it was so important to follow up with this chapter, which is work ethic, because what builds that confidence and builds that belief in you is the work that you put in to get what you want. You can't get a misconception and feel like, yes, believe, trust in yourself, believe, but that comes from the work that you put in. Like that grind that you commit to, that grind and that work that is day in, day out, that is boring at times. You don't see no results. Do you know how many times I was in the gym and oh my God, I think just yesterday in practice, I missed every shot I took. I missed.
I had some terrible days, bro. I had some days where like, bro, am I really cut out to be a basketball player?
Yes. Yes. I believe every athlete, even like we're 9 years in the game, gonna have those days where you feel, and then you feel like just because you're like in high school or just getting out of college and you don't get no deal or something like that, you feel like, well, maybe I'm really not. Kill that. It all matters about the work that you put in because that work gonna show up regardless. That's your reminder that hey, I do deserve this because I am putting in work. I'm going here every day. I'm training, man. I'm seeking out paths to get to where I want, and I feel like that's why everybody gets it. The misconception to feel like it's supposed to happen immediately. Listen, just keep watering that plant, just like there's a saying about a bamboo tree that you have to water it for 5 years. It'll never grow more than a couple inches. On that fifth year, it explodes. Because that's that constant watering, that's the work. You gotta put that work in. Just keep watering your plant because it's gonna blow up. I'm telling you, I used to.
Hey, everybody on the live podcast, let's give Arnold Lewis a slow clap. That boy done put them chapters in the right order.
Hey.
I'm listening. I'm new to the ebook. He said, believe is the first chapter. And that's so true. You gotta believe in yourself first. Then he said the second chapter, work ethic. Boy. It's like I pretty much what I just said, man. Like you could think about it all day. You could dream about it all day. You could come up with fabulous ideas in your head. You could have so much content that you're going to produce. But if you don't do it, and if you do it and you don't stay consistent with it, then you're going to fall off. You're going to fail. You know what I mean? And that's nobody's goal to fail. So you're right, bro. And it's so many kids that want to be NBA players. Let's call it what it is. NBA is the highest league. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But not all of us gonna make it. You know what I mean? It's very truthful. That 1%, that's some real stuff. You know, 1% of every kid that plays sports, only 1% gonna make it professionally. A very true statement, a very true fact. But at the same time, you can still, you know, I forget the saying. I always mess it up. What is it? Reach for the stars, land on the moon.
Yeah, shoot for the moon. At least you'll hit the stars.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I mean? Even if you don't become a professional NBA player, you still become a professional overseas basketball player and play at a high level. But none of that's going to happen if you don't get in the gym.
Put that work in. None of that's
going to happen if you don't study film. None of that's going to happen if you don't watch your favorite play. Because you got to have heroes to motivate you, too.
Oh, we're going to get there.
Me growing up, I love Kevin Garnett. I still love
him. Yeah, that's right. You for real. He's a love KG, boy.
Bro, I still love him. And to be honest, bro, you know, of course, y'all my family, Grammy and T, my brothers, shout out to my boy Kyle and this, that. Like, but outside of my mom, Kevin Garnett probably my favorite person. Just because he talked the talk and he got crazy work ethic.
Man.
He be in the gym working. You know what I mean? And that's a guy who made it to the top. He made it to the NBA out of high school. He could just say, "Oh, I achieved my goal, I achieved my dream," but he said, "Nah, I want to be an NBA great. I want to be an NBA champion. I want to be a NBA Hall of Famer." And he set out to do that. You know what I mean? So I just say, with this whole work ethic, it's sometimes it overwhelms people. Some people be like, "I work hard today, but I hear people keep preaching like I need to stay consistent doing 7 days a week." It's not gonna work like that. Just for the people who struggle with having a strong work ethic, just take baby steps. First things first, find a piece of paper or go on your phone and write it down. You know what I mean? Write down your plan on how you want to reach your goal. Don't start with too big of a goal or too big of a plan. Just because you're going to, like I said, you're going to overwhelm yourself. You're going to stress yourself out. Write down how you're going to do it. Then maybe do it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay? Then the next week, try to do it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you just add on and add on and add on until you're doing more and more and more. And that's how you gradually get that strong work ethic and, be successful.
It's like that work ethic is a muscle that you have to build. And I was reading this book lately. It's called The One Thing, just to give y'all just an example of work ethic. And it was talking about Michael Phelps. And it said he had like ADHD. He was always bad. He couldn't really stick to one thing. But all he knew, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to just swim every single day, even on Sundays. I'm going to just put 6 hours a day, every day for 15, 16 years. He never missed a day. He was just always in the pool. Guess what happened? They say if he was a country, he would be the 12th best country in the world because of how many medals that he has. Your work is not going to fail you. You have to put it in. It will not fail you. It gets tough, it gets rough and bumpy, but it will not fail you. And it's crazy. And it's like, I'm glad you brought up KG because moving on, the next section of this book is a mentor. And I speak about in this section when we're talking about mentors, obviously you got to find someone that teaches you the game and teaches you the ropes. But I really explain in this chapter that even though you don't have a mentor, go find you a mentor online. Go look at Kobe. Go look at the work that he did. Look at his work ethic. Kobe was known for his work ethic. As much as the 5 championships and all that, what do they talk about the most? His work ethic. Go look at Jordan, work ethic. LeBron, work ethic. Those are mentors that you create for yourself. That's how you go out and find your own mentor. I feel like a lot of times we give ourselves excuses. Well, I don't know any overseas players that I can go find that mentor me. Like you said, on the Tap Athletics, TikTok, Instagram, on my page, the 3-4 page, we post content every single day to get you better. We're posting workouts that you need to do. We're posting. I post on my page about agents, how to find agents, how to find countries to go to, what to look out for. We're putting this out here because we understand what it takes to get to the next level and how beneficial it would have been for us. I wish I had a mentor when I first started the game, man. Oh my goodness. So much
Mentors, bro. Go ahead.
so much money I missed out on. Listen, I got deported from a country. I missed my daughter's birth. You hear me? I missed my daughter being born. I was deported while I was married. I couldn't see them for like a year because I didn't have someone in my area giving me the correct advice. That's why mentors are so important and so it's a necessity. It is a necessity because you will not make it without some kind of guidance. Point blank, period.
Right. And I agree with you 100%. And yeah, I'll say my two biggest mentors for sure. My mom. Well, I say three: my mom, my grandmother, and Kevin Garnett. But to keep it on the basketball side, yeah, the main thing I loved about Kevin Garnett is like anytime you know how they have like little halftime little reports
Mm-hmm.
or this cool little basketball NBA specials about certain players. They would always just talk about the intensity and the work ethic of Kevin Garnett. And for him to be my hero, he made basketball look so easy. You know what I mean? That's why I fell in love with him because he was a unique talent. He had a great personality, and he just did whatever he wanted on the court. And I was like, wow, like, bro, he 7 foot, long, agile, can run up and down the floor, jump, dunk, and I'm just like, bro, I want to be just like him. I'm like, how? And everybody just saying, yeah, he gets up 3 a.m. in the morning, have another workout at 7 a.m., take a break, come back at 4 p.m., and then at 10 p.m., he has another workout. So he getting 4 workouts a day. And I'm a young kid. I ain't done nothing all day but play PlayStation. Uh, and I woke up at 11 in the morning. So I'm like, man, I'm falling behind if I want to be the next Kevin Garnett. So yeah, man, I'm thankful for him. And then just like me being the only child, like sometimes my confidence wasn't always the highest. You know what I mean? I just, you know, sometimes in life I wish I had an older brother or older sibling, like you said, a mentor to just show you the ropes. But I didn't have that, so I had to figure out a lot of things on my own. And one thing I learned from Kevin Garnett was just having confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? You're not talking crazy if you're talking facts.
Man.
So like Kevin Garnett, man, he's one of the craziest trash talkers in the league. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, back it
He done
up.
had a lot of people upset. As Carmelo Anthony, boy, he had that
Oh
man
my
going.
goodness.
So I'm sorry, Carmelo. If you ever see this, but I'm sorry to bring that up. That was a low blow, man. You know what I mean? But the thing is, what I love about KG, bro, he said what he said. He meant it. He believed it, and he backed
Backed
it
it
up.
up.
I love that, bro. I love that, bro. You could not. Anytime anybody played Kevin Garnett, bro, it was a tough night, bro. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
for sure.
they had a lot. Every player in the league had respect for him. So like the work ethic, the confidence, them two things that came together for me really uplifted me and motivated me to be who I am today. You know what I mean? I'm not as boisterous or loud or talk nowhere near as much trash as Kevin Garnett, but I'm confident because of him. You know what I mean? And I believe in myself because of him. You know what I mean?
I don't know. When somebody get the bumping and talking, I be seeing you out there rapping now.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I be with the smoke, man. The young kids say I want all the smoke, but I don't ever initiate. Bro,
uh,
when I was 14 years old, I had a happy birthday party. Not birthday party, but my mom gave me a birthday gift. We got not courtside seats. We were 4 rows back behind the basket for Atlanta Hawks versus Minnesota Timberwolves game, and it was really one of the best days of my life. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Definitely one of the best birthday presents, if not the best birthday present of my life. And I got to be a ball boy, so I got to
Oh
give him
man,
high
nice,
fives and
nice.
rebound for him. And then on top of that, like the best thing was when the game started. Like this man, this is just a side note story. This ain't got nothing to do with the book, but this man said every curse word in the book. I never felt so bad for another man just with the verbal abuse in my life,
Oh
but
man.
it was so crazy how good he was cooking them too while he was talking trash. But yeah, shout out to Kevin Garnett. I really want to meet you one day, man. We gotta make that happen.
But
For sure.
that's the importance of just mentorship that you can go find for yourself. That you got to have someone to look up to and look up to someone great. Don't wait for anybody. Like everybody has that one person that they be like, oh man, it's like good. That's what you need to have. Because for you to feel that way about them, there's something that they've done that's
Mm,
not normal to make you feel that way. Draw
mm,
from that, learn from
mm.
that, figure out how you can apply what they do in their life so it can help you in their life. Because clearly they did something to make them so successful. That's
And
what.
then
Go ahead.
my bad. One thing I will say though, uh, I know I talked about Kevin Garnett, who I never met before in my life, but on a more intimate level, bro, your mentors could be everyday people you hang out with or you see on a daily basis. They could be a teacher, you know what I mean, your bus driver, somebody at the library, your coach, your mom, your dad, you know what I mean? Because it's tough to, the thing is, it's good to have mentors who are pretty much heroes who you really can't meet, but you see and admire what they doing because it's something you want to do. But family members like are really good mentors as well. Because just want to give a shout out to my mom because in high school, I loved basketball ever since I was 8 years old. But going into high school, I was a little chubby, a little overweight, didn't have no athleticism, couldn't jump over a penny. You know what I mean? I had a
Wow, a
nice little
penny.
jumper. I had a nice little mid-range jumper back when NBA Live was in style. The shooting button was a circle button.
Man,
So I call myself Mr. Circle Button.
I remember
I had a
that.
jump shot. But other than that, bro, I was slow, couldn't play defense. And so going into high school, my freshman year, I got cut. I didn't make the team. You know what I mean? And this is me, bro. I love basketball. I'm trying to make it to the NBA. I'm not one of these kids who just play basketball just because it's fun. Like I got a big goal to reach. And I'm already starting off bad. Come the next year, you know what I mean? Like in between my freshman and sophomore year, I really just put myself through a strict grind, bro. That's when my work ethic really got established. You know what I mean? I had a dog. I'm taking him for walks, but instead of walking, we running the whole neighborhood. And I
Mm-hmm.
got a basketball. I'm walking my dog, dribbling through and running through my neighborhood, dribbling the basketball because I'm trying to just get it. You know what I mean? That pain of getting cut hurt me. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
did that cried at school. Like it was one of the worst days of my life
Hey,
in
I've
school.
been through that, man. I've been through that.
And then, I was chubby, like I said. I put myself through a strict diet. I was only eating at school. We had a choice between whatever they serve in a salad. Instead of getting whatever they serve, which sometimes could be unhealthy, I'm getting salad. And this is 14-year-old, 15-year-old me. Nobody's forcing me to do this. And then, sure enough, fast forward to my sophomore season, I'm slightly better, but I'm not that much great. You know what I mean? I still can't jump out of the gym. Never could do that, but still not that much better.
You
But
got a
I
nice one
improved.
leg. You got a nice one leg.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. But I did improve that year. But guess what? I got cut, and I was
Again.
devastated. I got cut twice in a row.
Ooh.
I'm like, bro, what is going on? I'm never gonna get to the NBA with them going like this. You feel me? But then, I came home that day devastated. My mom seen me, you know what I mean, crying in tears, man, just like it's the end of the world pretty much. I'm like, not wanting to give up, but it just hurt to that core. Like, damn, bro, chasing your dreams and getting to your goals is harder than I thought it was. You know what I mean?
Man.
And I was just really thought down, like, man, just having deep thoughts, like, bro, I'm not gonna make it. Like, I like playing basketball. This is what I want to do, but I ain't gonna make it. Then sure enough, my mom said we having dinner at the table. I'm really not saying much. She's just like, you going to practice tomorrow? And I'm just like, sometimes when I hear stuff that I'm in disbelief, I just be like saying the things that I don't know, just be saying crazy stuff. Like, Mom, I ain't made the team though. She was like, I know, but you still going to practice tomorrow.
Mm.
And I look down at my plate, look back at her. I'm like, I ain't made the team though. She was like, what time is basketball practice? I can't remember what time it was. I told her though. She was like, all right, make sure you got your shoes or everything ready because we definitely going to basketball practice. And I was like, I looked at my mom just in awe, like, man, I got somebody to believe in me. You know what I
Man.
mean? And like we talk about being mentors, like she could have just said, oh, poor baby, maybe try something else, or you know what I mean, better luck next time. But she seen me grinding because she loved me, you know what I mean? And she was like, she wanted my goal to happen just as much as me, you know what I mean? So she took me to practice the next day, walked up the stairs. Luckily, the coach wasn't in there just yet, but the players were stretching, and they all looking at me like,
What
boy,
you
you
doing here?
old, boy. You ain't make the team. You still coming to practice? You
Oh
love
man.
basketball, bro. Like,
Yeah.
damn, well, you really love this, don't you? Like, man, you got the courage to get cut and still show up the next day. And so I kind of like gained their respect. And then I remember the coach came in and he just walking through the lines that we still stretching. And he walking through, he looked at me like, and I'm just looking at him like, and he just walked off, you know what I mean? Like kind of shook his head and just like, bro. But if it wasn't for my mom saying, I don't care if you failed, we still gonna keep on pushing. I don't care if you at rock bottom, we gonna still keep on climbing to the top. And you deserve. Sometimes they're not gonna give it to you. Another valuable lesson. She told me sometimes you gotta take what you want. You know what I mean? Like this world out here, you gotta really present your dreams to people. Sometimes they ain't gonna feel it the first time you tell them. They ain't gonna feel it the second time you tell them. But maybe on a fifth, sixth, seventh try, you present to them that this is what your goal really is, they might start believing. You know what I mean? And that's how it was for me showing up my second year after getting cut. Man, they said, bro, we can't get rid of this man. Even if we release him, he's still trying to be a part of the team.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of a true mentor. They really believe in
Shout out
you.
to my mom. I love you.
Shout out to your
R.I.P.
mom, man. Shout out to your mom. That's the definition of a true mentor, and that's what they have to understand. It's not always the people that you think it might be, like this superstar player or something. It'd be the person right next to you. Shoot, it might be like you said, a coach. It might be an assistant coach. It might be it's just someone that believes in you that can give you good direction. You might be a guy too. You might be a freshman. He might be a senior. He's like, hey man, I just want to get better at this 1-2 thing. Like, let me just go holler at him. You know, take it take it upon yourself to find someone that's better and that has your best interest and learn. Learning got to be the biggest thing. You can't be afraid to learn and just absorb. Be humble in it, man. Man, so that's a really powerful story, bro. Shout out to your mom. Straight up, man. Shout out to your mom.
Real talk, man. Strong woman, man. She taught me a lot about life and just main thing, just never give up. And you gotta have all belief in yourself. Shout out to my mom.
All right, so chapter 4 is this. In this chapter is all about networking and communication. In your career, how important has it been to you? You feel about having the right connections and knowing how to network. I felt like that right there. It's something just was not taught, and it's so big, and just knowing the right person changes your whole life. Changes
Man,
your whole life, hands
opens
down.
up so many doors, bro. Opens up so many doors, bro. Yeah, man. Like put it like this, bro. Networking is key to getting to any job market or even just becoming a professional basketball player. It's not what you know, it's who you
It's
know.
who you know.
You know what I mean? We always it's a lot of cliches out there, but man, that is one of the truest and the realest cliches out there because put it like this. I started my career, my professional basketball career with an agent. Some guys from Canada. Luckily, they were good business. I ain't getting no bad business done. They got me where I wanted to be to start my career. But after 2 years with the club that I started with my professional career, this is from 2013 to 2015. Uh, I'm having a lot of agents hit me up during those 2 years. You know what I mean? Just seeing my skill set and seeing me playing really well in the British Basketball League. And, you know, a lot of teams started hitting me up, like from different countries. It was like, we love your game. We would love to have you on our club. Can we buy you out? And I'm just learning so many things about how professional basketball business is done overseas. And I'm like, wow, I really don't even need no agent. You know what I mean? So uh
We got something. We got something in the works for that. He got something
exactly
in the
like
works.
shout out to my agents that helped me get on for the first time. I definitely think for the younger generation, you got to start young. You almost got to start in high school nowadays because there's so much content being produced. So many people. It's so much easier to showcase your talent now. You know what I mean? Like scouts had to really go out and not chase you, but go out and find you. They had to go find. It was like Tracy McGrady. He wasn't even ranked his whole high school career to his senior year because it wasn't no social media. I'm pretty sure Tracy McGrady was going crazy in high school. I seen the senior year highlights. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And he's a Tracy McGrady we see, you know, in the NBA, but it's different times now. So for these kids, especially if you're 15 and got access to social media, reach out. Especially look at Arnold Stark's page because he just showed you how to contact agents and all that stuff.
Man,
Reach out to agents as best you can and find a legit one. You know what I mean?
that yep,
And
yep.
but yeah, I would say for the young generation, like wondering how to connect, I would say to get on to first start your career, you need an agent for sure. Because you know, these teams, of course, you put your highlight tapes on YouTube and you got your college stats, but these teams, they kind of lazy. They don't want to have to do their homework. They don't
Right.
want to have to like learn about you. They just want to go through an agent and be like, oh, this agent says he's this, that, and he's good for our team, so let's sign him. You know what I mean? They go off the word off the agent more than what you did in your accolades and what kind of person. I don't want to say who you really are, but they go off the word of your agent pretty much half the time. So starting your career, you need an agent. But then after that, like I said, if you kill, or even if you don't kill, if you just fit a certain a certain fit, a certain criteria for a
So
team.
for a team,
Yeah, like yourself. If you're a stretch four and the team needs stretch four, more likely they'll bring you in. But like I said, you gotta be smart. You gotta read your contracts, and after that, after 2 or 3 years, you should be able to do business without agents. And then from there, you should be able to talk to teammates, former coaches, and teams should just be hitting you up so much that you could just know how to do business from there.
and that's what I put a few books recommendations in my course that helps you learn that you know what, this game ain't just about you shooting a basketball. It's about how you talk and communicate. And one of those books is like Sell or Be Sold, which is by Grant Cardone, and it's basically teaching you how to make sales. Guess what? You're the product. You need to learn how to sell yourself. There's a certain way you display your message to the world, to the teams, how you want to be sold. Hey, I'm this type of player. I play here. It's like you said, we in social media age, it's off by perception. If I can communicate to the team by myself and communicate to the right agent, because you can have an agent who don't have your best interest in mind, and that gig that you have, if you can communicate it to yourself, to the team yourself, then you can get the deal because this agent might not be worried about you. You know, I just went through that situation. They don't even care or worry about you, so you got to be able to speak for yourself. You got to learn how to sell for yourself. You got to learn how to take care of yourself and communicate. How do you speak? How do you put words together? How do you write? Hey, it can't be, hey, bro, I'm trying to get signed. What's up? You know what I mean? It cannot be like that. It's a way to talk. Words are powerful, but you got to know how to use them. They'll get you anywhere
Right.
you need to go or get you going nowhere fast. And that's
And
be
a,
a
and a big one, I ain't mean to cut you off, but like a big one about the networking is building good relationships. You
man.
know what I mean? Be cool. Introduce yourself to certain people, especially in the basketball field. If you're trying to be a professional basketball player, uh, be cool with your teammates. Get to know them like on a real personal, intimate level to the point where you might find out, oh yeah, my dad's best friend, he's an agent and he got a strong agency. Or yeah, I know this dude, he having a tryout here and it's for G League trials for the Atlanta Skyhawks or something like that. You know what I mean? And like, it's really good to do right by people, and not really have no animosity toward people because the more love and the more you try to help people out, the more they gonna do in return. So you know what
Absolutely.
I mean? So get to know people that's in places of authority that can really help you launch to where you want to go. You know what I mean? You got to talk to the right people. You know what I mean? And get to know them, talk to them, invite them out to lunch. If you don't have money, just got to be creative into building relationships and getting to know people. You know what I
Look,
mean?
the hardest
Like
thing,
that could be the key to where you want to go.
the hardest thing I heard a speaker say, the hardest thing people never do is think. You have to think. You will find if you're really dedicated, you'll find a way. Because as I stated in this chapter, 6 degrees of separation, you're only 6 people away from the person that you need to know to get you wherever you need to be in this life. That's it. And especially, I promise, in the basketball world, it's probably only three. It's probably
Mm-hmm.
only three that you need to communicate. Like, you just got to know what to say, how to display your message. Because sometimes people don't know what you want because you don't know how to display your message to them. They just perfect example. When I went to the Orlando Magic G League tryout, right? I'm just peeping everything. I get there, it's 150 people on one court. I'm like, oh my God, I see what kind of situation this is. How can I maneuver in this situation? How can I get the best out of it? This is where your networking skills and communication skills come into effect. Think about it.
Yeah.
This is an organization tied to the greatest organization in the world, and they have a team
Yeah.
connected to it. That means almost everybody on this staff knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So I was
Mm-hmm.
going around talking to some of the players because they were so fixated on themselves and playing. I'm like, let's just think about it for a second. You're a point guard, and they got Markel Fultz walking around the gym. That's a number one draft pick. When you just think about it for a second. They got Markel Fultz here, a number one overall pick. And you're coming out and you think that they're going to pick you to be the point guard. Did you know that they already have their team roster posted already? Just think about it for a second. So what can you do out of this situation? Well, let me see who I can talk to. There's ex-NBA players in here, there's trainers in here. Let me see if I could just do something to impress them so they can remember my name and be like, yeah, I also play overseas. Hey, you know what? Do you got any recommendations? Don't even talk about the main thing. Just completely, oh, you know what? I might. And they remember, oh, yeah, I remember him. Got to be able to speak. Get
Yeah.
outside your box. Get outside your comfort zone. Pick up a
Yeah.
book on
Yeah.
communication and the psychology of people.
Hey, hey.
Because
I'm gonna go back to like I said, I love how your chapter's building up. The last chapter, you talk about mentors. Shout out to my mom. She was a lot of times when we watch basketball games, especially NBA games, she was just like, pay attention to how many times they say or you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Or you know what I mean? She was like, my mom always used to tell me, you gotta communicate better than that.
man,
Not everybody's from your environment. Not everybody's from your hood, your surroundings. So I understand that most people who think, in a box almost, they thinking, well, I'm just talking normal. This is where I'm from. This is where I'm with. But not like you said, it's all about how you communicate it and how you deliver your message.
right.
Not everybody talks like that. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong, the world has, been adaptive and let people be who they be. But you sound more intelligent when the reporter asks you how you feel about the game. Oh, I think we moved the ball well. We did a great job of cheering on each other. I love playing with my teammates. We work hard every single day. I'm so happy to be a part of this organization, and I think the sky's the limit for this team. Instead of saying, "Man, we play good." I think feel me, like I just think like, bro, I think we need to do better on defense.
uh,
And yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? You almost play into that dumb athlete stereotype. You know what I
man,
mean? But
get to
if
it in
you
your head,
communicate
man.
in a proper way, that's why I'm a big fan of LeBron James too, because he's so eloquent. He know how to speak. You know what I mean? And that's helped him out in the long run. It's turned him into an actor just because he know how to communicate well. You know what I mean? So yeah,
That there's so many different avenues to whenever you're able to convey your message the right way. Just learn how to convey your message the right way to the right person at the right time. That's staying ready. That's from college level. That's the overseas. That's semi-pro. That's in life general. You never know who's listening. You never know who you're gonna run into. It's just they're gonna hear your message, and then you convey it the right way. Are you tired of feeling fatigued and struggling with weight loss? Or maybe you struggle with falling asleep at night? We've got the solution for you. Introducing MVU Dreaming Slim and Empowered Spray Technology. Our innovative line of health and wellness products that combine the latest technology with natural ingredients to help you feel your best. With MVU Dreaming, you can say goodbye to sleepless nights and hello to a natural, restful sleep. And with MVU Slim, you can suppress your appetite and support weight loss with essential vitamins and minerals. But that's not all. MVU Empowered gives you long-lasting natural energy to boost your metabolism and convert fat, carbohydrates, and proteins into energy. Don't miss this opportunity to improve your health and wealth. Try MVU Dreaming, Slim, and Empowered today and start feeling your best. Chapter 5, man. I love the way this is going. Now that we're going through this book, it's just like
Hey, go get that ebook, man. Plug where they can get this book at, man. Tell them where they can get this book.
You can go in my bio on my Instagram and you can just pick up the book, 6 Must-Have Traits. I got it pinned on my 3-4 page. That's my Arnold Lewis 3-4 page and Arnold's Thoughts Podcast Instagram page. It's just click it, pick it up, share it with somebody, learn from it.
Tell them the name of your book one more time.
6 Must-Have Traits to become an overseas basketball player. We're going through every chapter.
I like hearing that, boy. I like hearing that, boy. Hey, man, we gotta make that a New York Times bestseller.
I'm trying to tell you, man. There's so many gems in there. It's just like through our years of playing, it's just like bar none. I tried to break it down into the most, just like the main thing that I can think, just the main through our 18 years together of in the game. How do I just put it? And a lot of people now these days don't really want to read. That's why we're doing the audio book and giving y'all all this extra content so y'all can understand it from the mouths of actual pros. And you can understand and feel how we feel conveying this message, expressing this message. Like, you must have these to be able to be successful. I looked up a stat. Over 70% of players don't make it past their first year of overseas basketball. Like Skip said, Shannon said, let that sink in for a minute. Over 70%.
I'm surprised it's not higher, to be honest.
It might be.
I thought it might be higher.
Over just at 70. That's passing. That's a C. 70% of players do not make it past their first year. 70%? Why? Because they're not prepared. You're not prepared. You just thinking, I ain't playing basketball. Yay! I'm gonna go to another country and it's gonna be a dreamland. Okay.
Like that. Yeah,
okay.
Ain't like that, boy. You in for a rude awakening. Okay. All right.
Oh man. But moving on. Chapter 5 is about consistency. Back to cliche. I feel like they're cliches because when we're younger, we're just not putting them into effect. So we think they're cliches. No, these are the words and these are the phrases that people have been passing down to us. And the reason they sound cliche-ish is because no one is implementing them. That's why you say, oh, a cliche. Even the word cliche sounds like the first thing you want to do is, that's just no. The word consistency is key. Really, the consistency is the key. It is the key. Staying committed to what you want to do. Staying committed to the work ethic, to improving yourself, to learning, to growing. That's the consistency that you must have to especially make it in this life of overseas basketball, because there are so many complications that are going to happen. So many. I cannot. We would talk for 30 years on about the complications that happen, but you just have to stay consistent. You have to stay
Right,
consistent in your work,
right,
in your belief, in your
right.
grind, man. Stay consistent in your passion for the game. This man got cut twice and came back to the game. He was like, I don't care. I'm coming back. I'm going to
I
consistently.
wasn't even on the team, Arnold. I wasn't even on the team. They ain't want me, man. They said stay at home, get better.
Oh,
You're
man.
not good enough. But I still came back.
Oh, man.
I showed up the next day. I said, you can't do me like that. I worked too hard. I'm finna rock with y'all, bro. I'm on the team. I don't care what none of y'all say. I'm on the team.
Right,
And
man.
yeah, bro. Nah, bro. But consistency, bro. You're right, bro. Consistency is key. And these cliches, they really the keys to life. You
Right.
know what I mean? Because they're not telling you nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like the reason why I'm a professional basketball player is because when I was younger, especially like my teenage years, I say from like 13 to 18, even at Savannah State University when we was grinding super, super heavy. Matter of fact, I skipped to Savannah State University because you my brother. We went to the HBCU, the best HBCU in the world. Shout out to Savannah State. Go
Shout out to
Tigers.
SSU.
They might get another ring this year, but that's another story. But yeah, man, I remember when I first met you, we became brothers because what? Number two, chapter in number two, work ethic.
Work ethic.
I said, hey, bro, I don't know who, I can't remember exactly how it went, but I think you might have hit me up because you had the car. You're like, bro, I'm finna go down to Tiger Arena, get some shots. So you trying to ride? You ain't even think twice. Let's ride. I'm ride with you. Then guess what? Not only did we put in the work ethic, but we did it again the next day
Mm-hmm.
because we can be consistent. It's not just good to do it one day.
Right.
What is one day? What you're not thinking about your competition? You're not thinking about all the other people trying to make it to the NBA. You know what I mean? And so many people that's got the same goal as you. How you gonna beat them out? How you gonna stand out? So we went the next day. Made me even tighter with you. I'm like, yeah, he like to get in this gym. Guess what? We went the next day, 3 days in a row. And you sure enough, we changed the culture at Savannah State
Right.
because our work ethic and consistency in the gym.
Yeah.
We changed their whole work ethic. They never had a winning record in Division One in
And
Division One history.
yep.
Guess what we did our freshman year? We helped that ball team get to 15 or 14. Okay, most people say, "Oh, what's the big deal? One game above 500." But me and your names will live in the history books forever as
Facts.
the first winning season as a Division One basketball player. You
Facts.
fast forward our careers, you know what I mean? Both starting our junior year, really making big waves in the MEAC conference. We win our first year in that thing. And we some real hoopers. And we some real grinders. You did. And you know why we won? Because we sacrificed going out to parties.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, just chilling at home playing Xbox. Don't get me wrong, we did it. We human. But we prioritize staying consistent
Staying
with the
consistent
grind.
with the grind, man. Staying
You know
consistent
what I
with the
mean?
grind.
We love basketball. We love winning. We love putting in that hard work more than just chilling, taking the easy route. You know what I'm saying? Having fun with friends. That's don't get me wrong. Everybody enjoys that, but you gotta keep in mind the big picture, the longevity, the long run game. You know what I mean? So it's like consistency is the biggest thing and will help you reach your goals so much faster. I think you can still achieve your goals without consistency.
Mm.
But if you want to reach it faster and maybe hit it a little bit harder, consistency will help out
Consistency is a life
so much
hack.
with that.
Consistency is a
It
life
is.
hack.
It is.
But it's so hard for individuals to really. I never realized how difficult it was for someone to stay committed and consistent with one thing. That's really
Me too.
a epidemic for someone to
It is.
really stick to
It is.
something. I realized that Because, like, for instance, today or yesterday, I was in the gym and my coach came up to me and he was like, how do you get your body like that? How do you like? How are you like that? How can you go so much and do so much? I was like, because I consistently do this every day. When you sleep, when you out here just chilling, I'm consistently still working. That's why I got 7 championships. Because I consistently, even when I sat at home for 5 months with no job, you know what I was doing? I was getting up at 5 in the morning and going and run 3 miles, then going to the gym 2 times a day, and then coming and working on my craft. I stayed consistent with my work, even though the work wasn't there for me to have. I stayed consistent in that. You looking at me like, oh my God, how? It's simple, bro. It ain't no secret to this. None.
Mm,
Do the work, do it every day, and just watch what happens.
yeah. And
But
then, like we talked about for the Savannah State days, I got to go back to my Riverdale High School days. Shout out to Riverdale, Georgia, Riverdale High School, home of the Raiders, my hood. But yeah, back in those days, like I told you, I got cut from the basketball team twice, my freshman and my junior year. You know what I mean? So I wasn't off to a good start at all, let alone becoming an NBA player, a professional basketball player in general. It didn't look likely. You know what I mean? And then not only that, my sophomore year, I wasn't on varsity. I was on junior varsity. And guess what? I rode the bench the whole year. I didn't get no playing time. And I thought I was pretty decent. But you know what? When my teammates that were playing would go home, guess what I would do? I would stay a little bit after practice, shoot around, work on my left hand layups, you know what I mean? Work on my handles, try to go in the weight room, try to improve my athleticism. And guess what I did? The next day, after practice, I do the same thing because I'm seeing minor results. That's making me want to go even harder. I'm like, oh, I'm improving. It's a little small improvement, but I'm getting better with making these left hand layups now. That's making me want to just keep grinding. You feel me? And then the next day, I'm over here making left hand layups, no problem. Now I'm mixing it up now. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so I go from not making the team my 2 years to force myself on junior varsity, riding the bench. Then I finally make it to varsity my junior year. Don't get no playing time. Fast forward to my senior year, I averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds. How did that happen? Because I was consistently working.
consistently
I was
working.
in the trenches. I was behind the scenes when people was clocking out, saying, "Nah, I'm finna go to the crib. I'm tired. We had a full practice. I got a burning desire. I'm not playing. Everybody playing. I'm tired of my mama coming to the game and I don't even touch the floor. My
Hey.
jersey is dry at the end of the game. Oh, it's hot. It's so dry. It's hot. I'm not getting no burn. It burns me to my core.
Oh
I
man.
got my friends joining me. They roasting me at school the next day. Boy, you'll never get in. You sorry. What you on the basketball team for? You the water boy. You the water boy.
I heard that
And
before.
y'all, it made me mad. It motivated me to work every single day of my life. So I could shut them up and they won't laugh at me no more. You know what I mean? So,
Hey,
bro, it's all about consistency, bro.
led to a D1
Shout out
scholarship.
to Savannah State for real.
Led to a D1 scholarship. Led to a history twice, first winning season. Led to a first ever winning season in the MEAC history for the regular season ever for a college. It leads to 9 years professional career ongoing. Just we just gonna just say that maybe this consistency thing has something to it. Maybe.
I think it does. I think it does, my brother. I think it does, man. You
Maybe,
gotta stay
maybe.
consistent. You and then, like I said, bro, what helps me stay consistent was having something to motivate me. You know what I mean? Like I said, what motivated me was not playing. What motivated me was being embarrassed when my mom came to play. She having to almost damn near argue with the coach. Why my son not playing? No, mom, don't do that. 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 You know what I mean? That's embarrassing though. And I'm like, nah, I can't have my mom trying to vouch me and get me. I gotta earn this. You know
Earn
what I
it.
mean?
Right. Right.
I can't have people roasting me in class, making me feel uncomfortable, making me feel bad. Like, nah, I want them when I want to come in class, I want to be like, boy, you was killing yesterday, your son. Like, you know what I mean? That's what happened my senior year, and it felt good. But find motivation to help you stay consistent. Write out, I don't know, a motivational quote and put it on your wall, or write out something a hater said to you and put it in your phone and have it as your screensaver. So every time you check your phone, you see that. And you know
Just
what I mean?
fires you
Like,
up. Just get you
you just
fired
gotta have
up.
something to fire you up to stay consistent. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure, absolutely, man. We're gonna move it along, man. That consistency really is a big thing. I had to save this chapter for the last chapter because this, I believe, is probably one of all these things are important. You can't falter without any of them. But
Mm.
mental toughness.
Woo! Say it again for the people in the back. They ain't quite hear you. What you gotta have, Arnold?
Mental toughness. This
This
chapter
ain't for the
of
weak.
mental toughness is not for the weak hearted. My goodness, this is not for the weak. Listen, I'm talking to you. Whoever's looking at this, I'm talking to you. If you ever in your life think you want to play this game, you better stay. Oh my
Man.
goodness, you have to have. I think I need to go back and just write my own, just a solo book of just mental toughness in the game. That might be the title right there. Just branch
That is a
off.
good, hey, mental toughness in the game. I like that, bro. I
That
like
might be the next book right there. Mental toughness in the game.
that.
We'll be going over that book the next time. But
Yeah.
overseas basketball, let me just say this. It is a wonderful, amazing experience.
Facts.
You hear me?
Yes.
If the whole reason I wrote this book and we get on these podcasts and we talk about this is because we want everybody to experience the life of overseas basketball. It is such a great life. Like the ups, the cons compared to the pros is immaculate. It's just too much. But
Mm.
but there is a mindset that must be had to enjoy that life, to have this life, because it will chew you up and spit you out. It will chew you. Already gave you the stat. Over 70% don't make it past their first year. Okay, there's so
Like I
many
said,
things.
I thought the percentage was gonna be higher.
I might have to go back and do some more research. But even if that's the baseline, 70%, 70%, and a lot of that is because they're not mentally prepared.
Fact.
I know guys that have been like great opportunities, man. I can't do it, man. The coach, the food, the language, uh, the country. You know what a culture shock? Do you know the definition of a culture shock? I don't think people understand that.
Mm.
I'm gonna give you the first time I went to Saudi Arabia. The
Boy,
first
I've
the,
been out there too. Goodness great. They do things a little different. That's
a
all I'm gonna say.
little, a little. If your mind is not prepared to handle the way, get out of your box. Get out of your box of whatever you're thinking that, whatever you expect this life to be, forget about it. That's why you gotta go get a mentor so they can try to just throw you a few tidbits and just so you can be prepared and they can tell you, hey, when you get to this situation, this is what you do. Because
Mm.
what you go through when you go through a season, trying to tell, the first time I tried to go vegetarian overseas, I couldn't even explain to you the difficulty I had to go through. That was a mental test. That's a mental test. That's not being able
Bro,
to eat. Not being my first year. It's just so many stories.
yeah, bro, I've been overseas so long and been in so many countries where they don't speak English. And I can only imagine, bro.
Man,
I imagine you got some hilarious stories to that, bro.
I just remember, like now, granted, I could speak Spanish, but my first year, I couldn't speak Spanish. Didn't have Wi-Fi. Didn't know where I was at. Plane got delayed. Didn't know where to go. First thing you gonna think about, I want to go home. I miss just that fast. Not even one game in. Think about this. My first year. Actually, I made it. I signed to Mexico. Was there 2 weeks. Got cut. Thanks to my networking skills connections with my brother Rashad, got me on with an agent that got me on in Colombia. First year out there in Colombia. Owner ran out on us. We didn't have no food to eat. We stayed in a 1 bedroom with 8 bunk beds. 8 bunk beds. No Wi-Fi. The owners didn't pay us. He paid us the first month and then skipped out. We was there for 3 months. Skipped out on us. And the bodyguard of the owner said he's gonna come back and shoot up the whole place because he didn't pay us.
Bro, all I can hear in my head was that 70% of hoopers that you
Oh,
said was saying, "Oh no, I'm out of here.
that was the
I'm
first
leaving,
year.
bro. I'm out of here." Like I could just hear that 70% though. That 70%
Mm-hmm.
saying like
I'm done.
looking around, like you said, mental toughness. They hey, get me out of here.
Get
This
me
ain't
out
for
of here.
me.
Listen, that all that
This
happened in
ain't
the
it.
all that happened in my first year of playing. Think about it. Like Skip, like Shannon said, let that sink in for a second. My first year ever playing professional, I got cut after 2 weeks. I went to Colombia. All that happened. Owner ran out on us. Got didn't get paid. Wasn't eating. Had to go to the American embassy to try to get a ticket just to go home because I was stranded. Got signed to go to Saudi Arabia right after that. Got cut after 5 days. This is all within a 6 month, 5 month period. That 70% might be 85. Cause I don't know that like
Bro.
the mindset
I was gonna say 85. I was gonna say
gotta
85.
be like 85. Has
It's
to
gotta
be.
be because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like you said, overseas basketball is an amazing experience, and I love it. I truly love it. It's helped me see so many parts of the world
Man.
that I never thought I would ever see. There's one point growing up in Riverdale where I was like, bro, I can't ever see myself setting foot in another country. I randomly thought about London, from time to time, like especially getting towards my senior year, because I'm like, okay, I'm about to be a man now. I might have to go overseas to play basketball. And like the only place I can really think of was England at the time, just because we America, we don't really think about other countries like that. You know what I mean?
You're
So
thinking of Saudi Arabia.
no, Saudi Arabia, boy, never at that time, boy. But like you said, bro, it's like I said, it's a beautiful blessing to be an overseas basketball player. But man, I didn't walk into some situations like,
Oh
bro, this ain't what I signed up for.
no,
This ain't what I thought it would be. But it's like, how bad do you want it? You know
man.
what I mean? Because this is the thing with being an overseas basketball player. You only really clock it in for 2.5 hours, maybe 4 hours if you're working out. Then you got the rest of the day, do whatever you want, and you getting paid for it. So if you tell that to a man who hate his job and hate punching in the clock and doing something he really don't want to do, he'll probably trade places with an overseas basketball player any day of the week. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. That mental toughness is gonna help you oversee that negative situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you could have easily said, "Hey, Deuce, bruh, I went here. They put me in a horrible position, and then after that,
Horrible.
I
Horrible.
got cut after 5 days." Like you said, that 70, 85%, they done.
No,
They
you're
done.
done.
They seen it. They seen it. But because you mentally tough, you said, "All right, that was a horrible experience, but it is what it is." it's not gonna stop me from seeing what the next experience might bring.
How bad you
And
want
then
it?
after that, look at you. You won 7 championships. You a legend out in certain countries. They love you out there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't give up. It's because you finally found a good situation. And that's how it is. That's how it can be overseas. Yeah, bad situations. There's nightmare situations, but not every situation overseas will be like that. There'll be some situations where you walk there and like, wow,
This is
boy, they
great.
gave me a little mini mansion. I
Mm-hmm.
get I get 3 meals a day. I ain't gotta spend no money on food. They give me money for gas, you know what I mean, to get around the city, like, and they paying me on time, like,
Oh,
man,
we ain't gonna get no paying on time, boy. We don't even
paying
want to
on time be the
start.
biggest one, boy. That'd be the
They
biggest
late right
one.
now. They late right now. I had to hit them up. Like, hey, man. My day was the 12th. It's the 17th. What's good? Oh yeah,
Yeah, bro.
today. You said today, and it's about 7 o'clock, and I ain't heard nothing. Let me tell you
Man.
something. The number one word that every basketball player, if you ever play basketball overseas, I'm gonna tell you the number one word you will hear more than anything in your entire life. What word is that, Rashad?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah,
And if you
tomorrow.
in Spanish, mañana. Mañana,
Yeah.
mañana, tomorrow.
If you was in I know it don't translate to tomorrow, but if you in Saudi Arabia, inshallah, inshallah, yalla, yalla, inshallah.
Got three
You
different
have your
languages
money.
for
You
you.
have your money. You have your money.
Three different languages.
But
Shala, mañana, tomorrow. Okay? That's going to tell you right there. They're going to tell you tomorrow to death. I see somebody post a little clip.
what up, Troy? That's my boy Troy. PJK. I know what you talking about, my boy. Hey, we're gonna get you on the live podcast. My boy Troy Simons. Pittsburgh's finest, man. But yeah, he know about that mental toughness.
Man, mental toughness, man. We can go on for hours about that, but it's just the one way I would say for you to construct and build your mental toughness is you got to have people with you who going through. It's kind of like those help groups, like when people I can't remember the exact name for them when they have like alcohol anonymous.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
have
It's help
that
group. Help
help
group. Yeah,
groups.
you do.
It's literally
Yeah.
the same thing you gotta have. Like you gotta have like group chats of people that you're close to that are going through the same thing because you will fold and you will buckle and under all.
How many times have we talked to each other on our journey as a professional basketball player? I hit you up almost every day because I'm about to lose my mind over this basketball stuff. I have to talk to you.
You got
You
to.
are my help group.
I'm
If I,
telling you. You cannot do it
bro,
alone. You cannot.
man,
You cannot go
it's
through this
overrated.
alone, bro. You cannot go through it alone. And I just got to bring up this one situation because you got to think about it. You've been through it. I've been through it. Like we've lost family members. You lost your mom. I lost my dad while being. I just wanted to just break this down real quick. I was going through a situation where I wasn't seeing my daughter because I was going through court situations, not seeing my daughter. And you a parent. Imagine you can't see your son 4, 5 months. On top of that, you get a phone call one day say, "Hey, we can't find your dad." Not we ain't heard from him. We can't find him. The next day, "Hey, your dad is gone."
Mm.
Think about that. That you talking about just can shake and that I ain't gonna that shook my whole existence of my life. But
Yeah.
that's the mental toughness that you gotta go through. Like it's so much. And then I left. I had to leave, go bury my father, because I had a commitment to the team. And I know my father wouldn't want me to not go back and play. I know. Came back 1 week later, had a championship game. 2, 3 days before the championship game, I was in the hospital because I was under so much stress. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was about to die, Rashad. I'm like, and because my father just died, my heart was so broken from stress, felt like I was about
Mm.
to die.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Nah,
That's
I
how strong it is, bro. That's the way good friends, good people that you could talk to that can just get you through it and just helping your mind and staying strong and being able to just deal with that. It's a lot. But in the memory of my dad, came back and won that championship though. came back and won came back and won that
feel
chip
that,
though.
feel
Ah you feel
definitely.
me?
And like we talk about so many cliches, bro. It's 80% mental, 20% physical. You feel me? Or
Hmm.
just trying to actually do it in the physical. But like, bro, that's why we brothers, cause we go through so many similar life experiences.
The
You know,
parallels of life is crazy.
cause I lost my mom unexpectedly as well. I was like, I had been released in 2017 around right before Thanksgiving. And it's really a beautiful blessing that now that I look back on it. But like when I went home, and that's one of the tough things about playing professional basketball overseas as well, is you missing time with your family. And for me, I have a very small, intimate family, and it was just really me and my mom growing up. You know, I don't really have a lot of cousins. I don't have any. I have brothers and sisters, but we're not really the closest like that. I love them. We get along, but we're not really talk to each other on a daily basis or really check in on each other like
It
that.
ain't like
So
that.
really my support system is really just my mom. That's it. And my grandmother, but she passed away as well. But yeah, so 2017, I got sent home from France, kind of down to the dumps, but I had played basketball for a whole year straight. So I was kind of happy to have a break. You know what I mean? I wasn't in a rush as soon as I got back home to find another team. Long story short, I stayed till about February back home in Atlanta, and then I got a deal to go play basketball in Australia in March. So, in that time, it had a beautiful time really connecting with my mom, just laughing because I missed it so much. Because like I said, you miss time with it. You know what I mean? I spent 9 months of the year overseas in a different country. And don't get me wrong, we calling each other, we FaceTiming. She following every single game. She know all my stats, but you ain't got that physical touch. I can't hug
Hmm.
my mom. I can't kiss my mom. I can't just laugh and joke and be silly with her. You know what I mean? So like when I went home, I kind of noticed because it was probably about my like 6 or 7 year overseas, and I noticed that, and I'm like, kind of got to me. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm chasing my dream, I'm living my dream, but I'm missing time with my mom, and she getting older, and her health is decreasing. And that year when I got home, sent home from France, it really hurt because I could see her health was just declining, 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 declining. You know what I mean? And it got to a point where right before I left, she had to right after I left, she had to go check into a hospital, and they found out like she had some internal bleeding and just a lot of complications going on, and they try to operate, but unfortunately she lost her life. You know what I mean? And that was one of the still is the toughest day of my life,
Always, still,
and the most
always.
devastating news I will ever receive in my life that my mom passed away. And I was overseas when she
Hmm.
passed away. I was in Australia. I couldn't hold her hand. I couldn't just give her that like last kiss on cheek while she is alive. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that pained me so much, bro. But long story short, I got to go home and I put it to rest. And like you said, I said to myself, do I? Because I really only like 2 weeks in when I just got to Australia, and I was like, I'm still kind of physically recovering, and with the death of my mom, I'm like
Your
missing my
mind is
spirit.
gone.
My mind is gone. It's not there.
Right.
But you know what? In honor of her, even though my mind was deteriorated, bro, it was gone, bro. I couldn't think right, bro. I went out there and went back to Australia and played the season anyway. You know what I mean? Because I was saying, just like the story I told of me not making a team, and my mom was like, "You going to that practice?" I had to do it for her.
You know it.
I'm going. I'm going back to Australia just to say nothing could stop me and my mom. You know what I mean? Everything we went through, it's because she wanted to see me rise above any obstacle thrown at me, even her death. You know what I mean?
Man.
So instead of using that as a pity uh, the world is against me, a victimizing moment, I use it as a motivating, uplifting moment to rise above what I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling like crap. Yeah, I'm feeling like I want to cry every 20 seconds. But you know what? I'm going to turn that into a positive and let that motivate me to reach greater heights I never achieved before. So in reality, really, her death has been a beautiful blessing for me. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
It's helped me stay focused and stay on track to being the person I want to become in life. And it's just made me hungrier on being successful. You know?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I feel like that too. It's always that defining moment. And it's so amazing. Like, that's how you know we've been brothers since day one. The parallels in our life of my father, your mom, we was overseas, and how we just made that shift in our lives and say, you know what? One, we're gonna go back because we know our parents more. We're the oldest. We know them more, better than anybody else, and they know we know exactly what they would want from us, and that was to go back and continue to be great and continue to push and strive. And it's now we got something even more. Like I play more than just stats and just for say I play overseas. Like this means more to me. Did you know what I went through to get here? Do you know what I go through to keep going? You know, people tell me to stop. You remember? I remember my mom my first time when all that happened that year. She told me, "You maybe you should go be a waitress." You feel? And my
Hey,
mom loved me to death. You feel me? Man, you should go be a waitress. And that just shows you like I can't quit and stop this because do you know what how strong it has been in my life and how strong my mind has came and made me into the person and the man that I am today? Do you know how proud I am of you, of me, of the person I become? How many people just could look at themselves and say, I'm proud of the person that I am and constantly becoming because of all of the turmoil and hurt that I've been through that built me up into the person that I am today. And as bad and as horrible as a lot of those stuff was, you would never change it because it changed me. Those changes changed me. It changed you. It changed us. And having your mind strong enough to be able to handle that, to be able to just say, no matter what, that's not an easy feat. That is not an easy feat. And that's why
yeah,
we're 13 years strong, going on 14, because you got that person next to you that you need to get through. Nobody can do this alone. Even God
yeah,
has three of him. You feel me? Nobody can do this alone. You need you that person that's gonna be with you, that's gonna rock with you, that's gonna push you through, that you can feed off of, and just help you get through everything that's just gonna happen in this life, man. It's a
yeah.
beautiful
I
blessing.
say,
That's what I would say. It's a beautiful struggle, a beautiful
yeah,
struggle. But
yeah.
it's
And
God, it's worth it.
I say for like all the professional, upcoming young generation that do turn out to have overseas professional basketball careers, like just know, like when you look back on it, like one of my favorite quotes, they were saying, uh, one day in retrospect, the days of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful.
Mm.
So all those times where you got up 5 in the morning, ran 2 miles, you're gonna think back and I'm saying that was the best time of my life. All those times where you was dog tired, your legs hurt, your knees hurt, your feet hurt, but you still in the gym shooting on the gun, trying to get to 1,000 makes on the shooting gun, and you're gonna think back when you 78, be like, man, that was the time of my life. Trying to chase
Man,
that goal, not being where I want to be, that made me feel alive. That made me feel human. You know what I mean? And that's what you gotta understand. Like that's why you gotta be mentally tough because struggles, problems, they temporary. They come and go. You know what I mean? You just gotta be strong enough to, life is like a roller coaster. You know what I mean? You just gotta be strong enough to just weather the storm, the ups and downs. You gotta just be staying even keel, and you know what I mean. Let your mental help you stay above the BS, the problems, all the stuff that's trying to stop you from being great. You know what I mean? So the struggle is the best thing that's happening to you.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna wrap it up there, man. If we just, I want to just thank everybody if you even made it this far, because this is in the book. Like this whole segment is probably the best episode I've ever had by far. And who else better to be than with my brother Rashad Hassan from Tap Athletic.
Hey, everybody at home watching, let's give a round of applause for this podcast.
Shout out to you if you're
Listen to
watching
the pod.
it. Shout out to
Remember to the
you.
cheerleaders, welcome to the podcast. This is the Arnold Starts and the Tap Athletics Live podcast. Oh, sorry. Let me get it right for the YouTube drop. This is the Tap Show Live podcast.
So yeah, man, and this is gonna be this whole segment is in a part of the book. This is all gonna be I'm like mastering it to be all in this book. So you'll probably hear this in the audio book when you get it. We're just gonna wrap all this up. Remember, belief, work ethic, mentor, networking, consistency, and mental toughness. This game of basketball is a beautiful life, but you gotta have these traits. You gotta, and more than have them, you gotta start applying them to your everyday. And you're gonna realize the game of basketball is gonna accumulate more to than just the game of basketball. It's gonna these traits are not just so I can be the best overseas basketball player, but it's gonna be the best person I can be. Because what is life more than just the game? So it's more so we just preparing you for this life of overseas basketball. We're preparing you for life.
Facts,
All right.
facts, and like it's free and not a free game, but it's like you know, please support Arnold's book, Arnold Lewis. Tell them where they can follow you at, bro. Plug yourself. I know we on your page, but plug yourself. Go ahead.
You can follow me on YouTube at Arnold's Thoughts Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, at Arnold's Thoughts, on my Facebook and on my Instagram at Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. Like I post daily, every single day, something that's gonna help
Please,
us get better
please
every
support my
day.
brother. Please support my brother. He's a hard worker. Like you said, 6 traits. What is it? Say it again. Six
Six.
must-have traits to be an overseas professional basketball player. That's a book I never even heard of. That's groundbreaking. That's trailblazing, and that's what I love about you. We always been leaders. We
Yep.
never been followers. We never followed the crowd. We always wanted to be higher than we were the next day. And I salute you, my brother. Like I said, this man right there, that man right next to me, that man is not only a professional basketball player, which is beyond difficult to do. He is also an author. How many professional basketball players / authors do you know? Not
Yeah,
many.
not too many. Even in the pros, there are
That
not too
reason
many.
alone, don't get me wrong, there's some,
There's
but you
some.
don't know too many. You know what I mean? But it's not a big field. So the fact that you in that field, I feel like everybody needs to support your book. It's a great book for the young generation. And the fact that you trying to help people out,
That's
that's a
all we're
beautiful
trying to
thing.
do, man. That's all we're trying to do. It's like it's all of this started. It was just hey man, how can I give back and give something that I just never had? And when you go through something so like life changing and difficult and the struggle, you don't want the other people next to you to go through the same thing. You just don't want people period to go through that. So you find out ways that you can give back. And I always just felt like it was a calling in my heart to like, hey man, you gotta speak this, bro. You gotta let some people know like what's really going on. You gotta really let people get prepared for it. That's why we're so passionate about it. It's like you said, it's a burning. I have a burning desire for everybody to experience this life, but also be prepared for it. All right. I don't want
Yeah.
you to do, because I don't. The worst thing is you to get there and then lose it and be like, why did this happen? I don't want you to just go and just don't make it. I want you to make it. I want you to experience this life. I want you to do it because it's greatest thing you could do is travel the world and do what you love, and especially we love the game of basketball. That's why we're sitting here talking about. We love the game of
Get
basketball,
paid for it.
and you get paid for it. You get paid for it. You can use it in so many different avenues to create so much different things for your life and improve your life and your brand and everything. And that's what I want to give you. Like, make sure everybody just, hey man, take advantage of this opportunity. Like you say, we work probably 2-3 hours, and we should be on the podcast chilling, giving out free games.
I done put in that hard work. I done believed in myself. I done followed the 6 steps.
You followed the 6 steps.
I can do whatever I want. I own my own brand. You did.
You feel me?
It's all gonna pay off, bro. If you follow these 6 steps, these 6 traits, you definitely gonna see improvement in your life. Like you said, it's kind of bigger than basketball with this book, but I love that you specific on helping the young generation or anybody in general trying to make it overseas. But this gonna help you in basketball, but also your life. So go pick it up. You know, like I said, bro, I'm proud of you. And then I gotta read a comment from the cheerleaders because they said something nice. They says a lot about someone who wants to give back and help others. So, you know, that's a shout out to you, my brother. You're doing big things in life. Just for everybody on this podcast, it's 2023. We gotta do great things this year. You know what I mean? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You're already great.
You're already great.
Time, push yourself. Get out your comfort zone. Go do something you always wanted to do. Communicate effectively with your friends and family this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And just appreciate life. You feel me? Like, we ain't gotta be here. Like, we lucky to experience this thing we call life. You know what I mean? So it's like, for 2023, I'll just think big, bro. Think big on everything and execute on it. Don't just think it, but also execute big too. You feel me?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you, man. This is hands down the most epic episode I ever had. I'll say it again, man. I couldn't have done it without my brother. That's all we got.
Hey, man.
Go ahead. Finish him off. I was
just gonna say, man, it's a pleasure doing business with you, my boy. It's not even. It's we just talking, bro. It's just me and you having a conversation, man. Just this is fun for me, bro. Like we definitely got more on the way for 2023, but yeah, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow Tap Athletics on TikTok, YouTube.
Oh yeah, let me do my plug.
Go ahead, get your promo in. Where they gonna find you?
Plug around here. Follow me on Instagram. Tap Athletics 22. Appreciate all the support 2022, man. We seen a lot of growth on there last year. I really appreciate that. TikTok, Tap Athletics 22. I got the best basketball TikTok on TikTok. Arnold, he's tied with me, but I still got the best basketball TikTok on TikTok. YouTube, I ain't got the 22 at the end. Just Tap Athletics. YouTube is just Tap Athletics. And then on Facebook, it's Tap Athletics 22. Do your best to spread the word about Arnold's thoughts. That page, Arnold Lewis, his page, and then Tap Athletics 22, my page. All the support, all the shares, all the likes, all the comments, we greatly appreciate. And they take us closer and closer to our goals. So we appreciate that support.
We appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that's still on, still chiming in. That's all we got for you guys. It's time for me to get something to eat. All right, Rashad, we out. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.